Okay, I found a few new things here. Since I was looking for the goddess Nut, N-U-T. Always got the feeling that she was right here too. And you see a foot, kind of a foot right here, and she's the deity that's shown arching over. And they most people have said it's depicting the Milky Way right here. So it's like that with stars. And then the definition of her, it says that she's supposed to have mostly stars at her feet and hands, which I thought was kind of odd. But so you can see how this would everybody would think this is the could be the Milky Way. Yeah, it sounds logical. The stars, that she's the sky. She is the goddess of the sky and rebirth. And it's thought that she gave birth to Ra. So she's one of the really old gods. And usually there's another god right here underneath her that's Jeb, she's her brother, sibling, and he's the goddess of the ground or the earth. So kind of interesting. So if you place this right in here, um, so here's a foot right here, and then here's the rear leg, and it says her feet are to the east and her head to the west. So here's a foot, and here's the rump, and it comes across, and then back down here's her fingertips right here. That might be a stretch, I know, but you start looking over here, and you kind of see a shape here take uh, form. And maybe this is the leg here and the hump. And then here's the mane right here, the hair, flowing hair coming up. And here's a face right here, and it's coming down to the fingertips that are touching. So is this, that also, you trace that out, looks like possibly the side, the profile of a sphinx. And Zep writing in Egypt shows two sphinxes. So we have the sphinx at the Weaver's Needle, the big lioness, I think is Sekhmet, but it definitely looks like the sphinx. And then possibly we have the second one is right here. The foot coming up, mane, the hair coming up, and then down here. Now, most of the depictions of uh, Nut are curving up and then curving down with their head down too. With their head down too. So if you place an overlay, so here so you can see the foot. Let's get this a little darker. So here you can see Nut, feet, and the rump, and the head. There's a disc. There's a disc here with rays coming off it. This could be, like I say, the landing strip. Here's Hathor. His face is right here. The hands coming down. So that's how they've always depicted her. And the stories say the feet are to the east, the hands are to the west, and that's how this is laid. But most picture images are opposite. So I had to flip this around, which is interesting. So once I make this a little more transparent, you can see, let's just take it right out. Let's just take it right out. So here's Set, the snout, but it's also the feet. You can see this line come up. This is the red tank canyon through here. Red tank divide. Back in here is the disc. So here's the rump. It's coming across, and then down here's to the fingers. And so she was shaped right across there. So let's do that again. Well, here's the image. Now, so I can see the fingers. Fingers are right here, and the feet are right there. So that fits pretty good. The disc, people think is the sun, is right here with the rays. This could be the flight path or the runway, right? And here's the image of the geological formation. It's a Hather-shaped head, looking at it sideways here. So that fits. Now, I was talking about having a head up here. You can see the hair, and the face right here. It's kind of there's the mouth right there, and nose. It's facing this other weaver's needle. It's right here. So here's the neat part: is that Nut is the god of the sky, of fertility and rebirth. So it's said that she swallows Ra every night, and then in the morning gives birth again to Ra, and the cycle goes on. But she's always usually has stars on her. So everybody thinks this is the Milky Way. Well, I disagree. I think it's depicted in this location right here, and so the head's not up here, but it's kind of here. Why is the head in this spot right here? It's kind of odd. So let's make this transparent and see what's behind there. Nothing else except the alien face right here. So that's pretty bizarre, isn't it? Let's look back at this. Her head's where the alien head is peeking out through our dimension, into our dimension. Is this a female alien? Well, somebody saw this, and we're talking 20 miles above the ground surface to see this and to see this whole thing here. How did people get up here to see this? That's where this image is from. It just is. Has to be. Now Jeb is her sibling, and he's usually depicted right here at the bottom. He's the god of the earth. So that might be something to look for right in here. Next, take this out. Is there a figure right here somewhere? Just have to look at this in the right view. Maybe this is him right here. They're saying this. The bark here is him, but we'll have to look at this more. So pretty interesting. Is this an alien? Is Nut an alien being? It's got stars on it because it's from the alien is from the stars. Wow, that's too much of a coincidence. Isn't it? The human brain is wired to pick up images so they can recognize faces. And that's a survival thing, instinct that humans have. So you can see ducks in the clouds and whatnot. You can see images. Well, that's true. And it's probably happening right now when we see this kind of thing like this. But it also happened thousands of years ago. They had the same thing. So many thousands of years ago saw these images that I'm seeing on these mountainsides and put the same thing together. This one right here is very odd that maybe it's alien. You know, there's always been a connection to Egypt and ancient aliens, the ancient alien believers. So here's some proof that there's what somebody saw years ago. Is Chris, we're at 13 miles up to see this. So obviously, man wasn't on a mountain peak looking over at this, or in a balloon 6,000 years ago, or 20,000 years ago. Somebody in ETs, the ones that fly, maybe the ones that fly in here, the Nephilim, um, were showing people these images and what this place is all about. So that's kind of cool, I thought. So that's Nut. That's my take on Nut. Maybe Nut is the next ET, not a female. Maybe it's a female ET. Don't know that. She was giving birth to the gods. So they've created the story for people on Earth so they could evolve and have some kind of laws and history. Now here's something else that I was looking at. I was trying to see if I change the sun, I can, with Google Earth here, I can bring the sun across, sunrise and sunset across, and you can see shadows on the sides of the mountains. So I was going to see if I could see something, and I was looking for a nut here a little bit, see if it would show up a little better. And something else popped up. Right now I'm a little bit too far away. 29,000 feet. I think about right here. So we start adjusting the sun. So here's so another face appears. Here is the Apis bull backbone. And then here's the forked tail, or the tailbone. This is where that energetic formation is. And I've always said this is the Apis bull spine. I thought, because I saw some horn, it looked like some horns right here. From standing over here on the hillside, you could look this way and see that. And there was a triangle there. Apis bull supposed to have a triangle on his forehead. And then what shows up is this image right here. This looks like a bull's head. Here's an eye. Here's the mouth. And I thought, and the nose here, I thought, well, he's got something wrong with his mouth. And then the list of things to identify the Apis bull, which they used to have so that they could have a real life Apis bull in their midst, was a reincarnated Apis bull. It was a real life image of Ptah when he was alive, and when the bull was dead, he was in Osiris's form. But one of the things is he has a triangle on his forehead, and that might be that right there. But something peculiar was he had a lump on his tongue that was this scarab beetle, which I've been looking all over here for that. And look, he has a big old lump on his tongue right there. Is that the scarab beetle? So his head's right here next to his backbone, his neck. That would definitely fit, wouldn't it? So another cool thing. Stay tuned.